Good afternoon to all of you. Shri Mallikarjun Kharge, Leader of the Opposition, Shri K.C. Venugopal, General Secretary, Chief Ministers Ashok Gehlot ji and Bhupesh Baghel ji, other colleagues in the Congress Working Committee, MPs, MLAs, PCC Presidents, and other dear friends from all over India. I've been asked to speak to you very briefly, and I mean very briefly, on the facts of these two issues. Hard copies have been distributed to you, both in English and Hindi, I believe, and I think everyone should be fully familiar with the facts. Without the facts, there can be no argument, and therefore everybody should be fully familiar with the facts. Now, firstly, let me deal with the National Herald issue. The National Herald issue is a very simple issue. Randeep told you about the origins of the paper. Over the years, National Herald, owned by a company called Associated Journals Limited, AJL, ran into losses. When the company goes into losses, it will not have the money to pay wages, pay for the paper, pay for the printing, and therefore it borrowed money. AJL borrowed money from the Congress Party. Congress Party gave the loan because it was a paper started by Jawaharlal Nehru. There's nothing wrong in giving a loan or taking a loan. So far, the Modi government has not held that giving a loan is illegal and taking a loan is illegal. These loans accumulated to about 90 crore rupees. The loan was practically irrecoverable. So the Congress Party was advised that it should clean up its balance sheet. So what the Congress Party did was sold the loan to a new company called Young India. Now, Young India is not a commercial organization. Young India does no business. Young India is what we call a Section 25 company. Under the New Companies Act, it is called a Section 8 company. Section 25 company is like virtually a trust. You cannot take a salary. You cannot give a dividend. You cannot take 1 rupee out of a Section 25 company. In any event, Young India had no money to give. Young India bought the loan from Congress Party. So what happens? The lender becomes Young India. The borrower becomes AJL. So there is no difference. Congress Party loan to AJL became Young India loan to AJL. Now, Young India knew that the loan was irrecoverable. So how do you write off the loan? Now, it's a practice adopted by every bank, including public sector banks. When a loan is irrecoverable, you convert the loan into equity. Everybody knows this. Every banker knows this. Every bank chairman will tell you. X bank gives a loan of 100 crore to Y company. The loan is irrecoverable. So what does X bank do? It says, all right, instead of 100 crore, give me 10% of your shares. So hopefully someday the company will be better managed and you can recover your money. So all that happened was the loan from Young India to AJL was converted to equity. There's no money transaction. Not 1 rupee went from A to B or B to A. It was simply a book transaction where a loan is written as equity. It happens every day in this country. Now, this is perfectly legal, is our case. Let us assume that there was some violation. What is the violation? If at all, the violation can be Income Tax Act, the violation can be Companies Act. But Income Tax and Companies Act are not in the scheduled offense of PMLA. There's an income tax going on in the Supreme Court. It is before a bench of 2 judges. It's been pending there for 4 years. There is some kind of an interim arrangement. No authorities above the Supreme Court. Whether there is an income tax violation will be decided by the Supreme Court. No other person can decide that. Now, when that case is going on in the Supreme Court, the ED launches a PMLA investigation. We are asking repeatedly 3 questions. Which is the scheduled offense in the schedule of the PMLA? There are only certain offenses in the schedule of the PMLA. Which is the scheduled offense? Number 2, where is the FIR? Who has registered an FIR? State Police, CID, CBI, who has registered an FIR? Number 3, which police station has it been registered? Number 4, give us a copy of the FIR. Now, there is no answer to these 4 questions. Which is the scheduled offense? Where is the FIR? Who has registered an FIR? Give us a copy of the FIR. There is no answer. If there is no FIR and there is no scheduled offense, we say that the PMLA cannot be applied and you cannot accuse anyone of money laundering. Money laundering requires money. Without money, how can you do money laundering? It is like saying, I snatched the purse of this lady from her bag. She has no bag, she has no purse. So how can there be purse snatching? Without money, there can never be money laundering. It's like saying you entered my house and unauthorizedly used my swimming pool. There is no swimming pool, there is no water. How can I enter your house and swim in that swimming pool? This is utter rubbish. So you must stand tall and say, answer our 4 questions. Which is the scheduled offense? Where is the FIR? Who has registered an FIR? And give us a copy of the FIR. This is pure political vendetta. The PMLA section 1, subsection 1 says it applies to the whole of India. But under the Modi government, you must read, it applies to the whole of India except to BJP ruled states. It applies to the whole of India except to BJP ministers, MPs and MLAs. What is this application of the law? Only to political opponents. So we must be absolutely clear in our mind. We have nothing to fear. We have done nothing wrong. Mr. Rahul Gandhi, Mrs. Sonia Gandhi has done nothing wrong. Nobody has done anything wrong. Any kind of investigation we are prepared to face. Now the second issue is Agnipath. Now I'm writing on Agnipath. I've spoken on Agnipath. If you read on Sunday, you will find a detailed column on Agnipath in English and in 10 other languages. Agnipath is again a very simple scheme. In fact, too simple. 46,000 soldiers will be recruited every year. They will be trained for 6 months, underline, 6 months. And they will be deployed for 3.5 years, 42 months. 6 months of training, 42 months of deployment, and at the end of the 48th month, 34,500 75% of the soldiers will be asked to go home. No pension, no gratuity, no guaranteed job, no status of ex-serviceman, no medical benefits, just go home. They will be given 11,67,000 rupees. Roughly it works out to about 20,000 a month for 48 months. Now he will be recruited between the age of 17 and 21. Let us assume he is recruited at 17. He'll be without a job and without a future at 21. If he is recruited at 21, he'll be without a job and without a future at 25. What is he supposed to do? He has studied up to 8th standard or 9th standard. He has got 11 lakhs cash in his hand, but no pension, no gratuity, no severance payment, no medical benefit, no ex-serviceman. What will he do? And where will you deploy this soldier? 6 months of training. Can you deploy him in the India-China border? Can you deploy him in the India-Pakistan border? Lieutenant General Arun Prakash has said, if you want to operate the BrahMos weapon system, the Pinaki weapon system, the Vajra weapon system, you require at least 4 to 5 years of training. Admiral, former Chief of the Army Staff, has written that Navy and Air Force are highly technology driven. A 6-month training does not qualify a sailor or an airman to operate any of our ships or aeroplanes. Now these people have to work together. And when they work together in the 2nd year, 3rd year, 4th year, everybody will know that out of 100 people working in a unit, 75 will lose their job. Now what kind of camaraderie will there be? What kind of unity will there be? What kind of cooperation will there be? The motto of the army is, of the Navy and Air Forces, he must be prepared to die for the country and for his comrades. I must be prepared to die not only for my country, but to protect my comrades. But if you know that out of 100 people, only 25 will remain and 75 will be unemployed, what kind of cooperation will there be? What kind of camaraderie will there be? And how do you teach these values of camaraderie, discipline, sacrifice, laying their lives down in 6 months? Even a police constable, ask your local SP, even a police constable will be trained for 1.5 years. An army soldier will be trained only for 6 months. This is complete rubbish. This scheme will spoil our army. This scheme will reduce the effectiveness and efficiency of the army, and therefore we are totally opposed to this Agnipath scheme. We demand that the Agnipath scheme should be rolled back. There should be consultation. There should be discussion in the Parliamentary Standing Committee. There should be discussion in Parliament, and only then a scheme should be brought. Thank you.